Luck. Some people have it throughout their lives, while others can never have it. But what if one man was both the luckiest and unluckiest person in the world? What if life seemed to work against him, yet he managed to win every single time? This is the story of Frane Selak, a man who came face to face with death countless times. This isn't just a story of one man's fight for survival. It also shows how luck and misfortune can intertwine. By the end of this video, you'll decide if Frane Selak was lucky or unlucky. So, let's dive into his incredible story together. Frane Selak was born in 1929 in Croatia. He was a simple man with an ordinary life, a music teacher. He spent most of his life with his family, and like most people, he faced some challenges in daily life. However, when he turned 33, he would experience his first accident, and his life would begin to change. At that time, he was taking a train journey from Croatia to Dubrovnik, but nothing was going to go as planned. Due to a problem on the tracks, the train suddenly veered off course and fell into a frozen river. Many passengers either died during the crash or drowned in the cold water. Selak, however, was saved by an unidentified man in the icy water. Everyone on the train perished, but Selak survived, albeit with a broken arm. Surviving this crash was actually his first big miracle, and it was just the beginning. Frane Selak's survival adventure continued the following year with another tragedy. Frane had boarded a plane for a flight. What began as an ordinary flight would soon take an unexpected turn. While the plane was in flight, a loud noise suddenly echoed, and the engines malfunctioned. The cabin pressure dropped, and the plane started losing altitude. You might think this was the worst thing that could happen, but there was more. One of the plane's malfunctioning doors suddenly opened, and in seconds, Selak found himself falling from an altitude of 6,000 meters. He thought his final moments had come. At that moment, the plane crashed into a hill, killing everyone on board. However, Frane miraculously survived, landing on a pile of hay with only minor injuries. Once again, he narrowly escaped death. Surviving this crash once again highlighted how bizarre his luck was. But for him, these tragedies were far from over. 3 years later, in 1966, Selak faced yet another tragic incident. This time, he was on a bus. During the journey, the bus's wheels slipped on ice, causing the vehicle to lose control and plunge into a river below. While 4 passengers drowned in the accident, Frane Selak managed to swim to shore with only a few cuts and bruises. Although much of his life was filled with tragedies, another disaster was already waiting for him after this crash. Afraid of public transportation, Selak started traveling in his own vehicle. However, this wouldn't change his fate. In 1970, while driving, his car's engine suddenly burst into flames. Just seconds before the vehicle exploded, Selak managed to jump out, once again escaping death. 3 years later, in 1973, while driving another car, a faulty fuel pump caused hot oil to leak through the engine's vents, igniting a fire. Selak barely escaped, jumping out just in time. Although his hair was scorched, he miraculously survived without serious injuries. But his fight for survival wasn't over yet. In 1995, he was hit by a bus, and, as you might have guessed, he walked away with only minor injuries. And here it was, Selak's 7th and final accident. In 1996, Frane Selak was once again traveling through a mountainous area when a reckless truck driver suddenly appeared in his path, causing him to lose control of his car. The vehicle veered off the road and plunged 90 meters down a cliff, instantly turning into a fireball. But Selak wasn't inside. Somehow he had managed to leap out of the window mid-fall and grab onto a tree just below the cliff's edge. While his car was completely engulfed in flames, Selak miraculously survived with only minor injuries. This marked the end of his battle for survival. But his luck was about to take an even more unbelievable turn. The lottery. 2003, Selak experienced yet another incredible miracle. After years of escaping death and surviving countless accidents, he finally won the ultimate prize, the lottery. He took home a staggering $1.1 million. At the time, Selak was on his 5th marriage. Having spent most of his life facing hardships, he could now finally enjoy a comfortable life. However, despite his newfound wealth, he and his wife chose to live a simple and modest life. Then, in 2010, in an act of generosity, Selak gave away most of his remaining money to his family and friends. In 2016, at the age of 87, Frane Selak passed away due to natural causes. He had cheated death 7 times, surviving in ways that seemed beyond belief. Yet in the end, the one universal truth of life caught up with him. As they say, every soul shall taste death. But now the question is yours to answer. Was Frane Selak truly lucky, or was he the unluckiest man alive?